Good afternoon, y'all. How you doing? It is Mondays with Meagan time. Let's see if Meagan pops on here real quick. So today we are going to be talking about let's see. I'm gonna let Meagan talk to you. Hold on one second. See where she's at here. It's not showing you live. I'm live. So for those of you who have joined us before, this is Mondays with Meagan. Why it's not showing me live to her, I'm not sure. We'll just be patient and let Facebook do its thing. I am outside today because it is a beautiful, beautiful day. There she is. Bring them on. Ask Meagan to join you on video. There we are.
Hello.
It's kind of changing the way it's doing things. That was weird because you asked and then it told me to ask you. I'm like, okay. So you guys, this is my girl Meagan Duthie, and she is my go-to girl when it comes to all things health and wellness. She's a certified health, fitness, nutritionist.
Nutrition coach. Yep.
And she knows all the things when it comes to that. And I'm just here to listen because she's the girl with the brain. So Meagan, what are we talking about today?
All right. Today we're talking about the top 3 myths that women have around health, fitness, wellness, etc. So I'm going to talk through and debunk 3 of the top myths. So, also, I love you're outside. I wanted to sit outside, and the wind was so strong, I thought all they're going to hear is the wind. So, and I'm going to look windblown the entire time, so I moved inside. We have nice, warm sunshine, but lots of wind right now.
I'm hoping my allergies don't kick in. We'll see.
Right. All right. So, myth number 1 is that you can spot reduce fat. So, a lot of women will come to me and say, I want to burn belly fat, or I want the fat on my hips and thighs to go away, or I want my tricep sags to go away. I want them to tighten up. And so there's this misconception that we can focus on certain areas of the body and lose fat. Now, we can certainly focus on certain areas of the body and build muscle, but we cannot spot target or spot reduce fat. Your body burns fat as a whole and over different parts of your body, the way that it's going to, the way that it wants to. And let's be real, it is never the way we want it to, right? I have certain areas of my body that I'm like, all right, I want to reduce fat there. That is not how it works. And that generally is the area that your body holds on to the longest. And for women, that's usually lower belly or lower body. And then as you head into perimenopause and menopause, that tends to be around the belly as well. So there are a few things that you can do to help you feel more confident and comfortable in your body, understanding that you're not going to specifically spot reduce fat, but you are going to build muscle. I mean, you can still do crunches galore and build up the core muscle in your abdomen, but you're not going to reduce fat that way. So my top 3 tips for this in general is incorporate full body workouts. So you should be working every part of your body, all your major muscle groups, at least every week, if not a couple times every week. But that's going to help increase your calorie burn as a whole, which is going to help burn fat over your whole body. And again, there's certain parts of your body that are just going to hold on to fat a little bit longer and a little bit more. That's normal. That's okay. We still embrace our body and recognize how strong it is. So number 2 for this myth is maintain a balanced diet. So focus on whole foods, appropriate portion sizes. So a lot of times I'll have people come to me and go, I've done all the things and I can't lose weight. And one of my first questions is, are you measuring your food? Are you weighing it and or using measuring cups to measure your portion sizes? If you're not, that's probably the number 1 reason that you're not losing weight. There was a study done, actually a few different studies done, that people overestimate or underestimate significantly on how much they're actually intaking compared to what they think. And it's phenomenal because the difference for people who are obese, underestimating, versus the people who are very fit, underestimating, is significantly different. People who are fit underestimate the amount that they're eating. People who are obese overestimate the amount that they're eating. Or did I say that backwards? Anyway, you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing is consistency. So a lot of people will start exercising and then they get sore and then they don't want to do it and so then they fall off. And they're like, I'm too sore to keep going. I don't want to keep pushing through. And then they just stop exercising altogether, or they had a bad experience, or they didn't like something, or something happened and so they fall off altogether. So don't give up. Stay consistent. Keep pushing through. Regular exercise, regular healthy eating habits are going to help you burn fat over your entire body, which is going to help you in the areas that you probably are most self-conscious of. And remember, other people don't see you the way you see yourself. So areas that you think are like glaringly obvious for other people probably does not stick out the same way. Okay, questions on that, Brenda?
If you had a recommendation for somebody who really is like, well, for me, I work out and then I stop. I work out, I get sore, and then I stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to be consistent, maybe not 10 miles on the bike every day, but at least like 3 or 4 times a week. So I'm like the perfect example of somebody who's starting and stopping. I consistently, like, I go hiking on Thursdays with my daughter. So that's one day I know that I'm getting that in.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any recommendations on like maybe creating some habits to make sure that you're getting the movement in, or some things to like I don't know, like wall sits or some things that you can just do around your house if you don't have equipment, if you don't have a hiking trail, if you don't have a exercise room or a exercise bike or something? What can you do to help get your exercise in just with what you have, like just your house, just if you had nothing else but used your own body, what could you do?
Yeah, so there's a ton of body weight stuff that you can do. So my first recommendation is do something that's fun, that you enjoy, and that you incorporate in to everyday habits. So if you've ever read the book Atomic Habits, he talks about do it in conjunction with something. So when you do this, you think, oh, now I should do that. So for example, if you're brushing your teeth, maybe you do squats while you're brushing your teeth. And it can be body weight, but it's a compound exercise. It's going to help lubricate your ankles, knees, and hips, as well as build muscle. Same with wall sits. Maybe you're going to sit against the wall with your hips, knees, and ankles at a 90-degree angle for the entire 2 minutes that you're brushing your teeth. If you're using, a timer or something. But yes, so the biggest thing is do things that you enjoy and do things that are compound motions or movements. So if you know that you always go hiking on Thursday with your daughter, great. Maybe it's that if you guys are taking rest breaks, you are also leaning against a rock and doing push-ups, or you're doing some squats to help lubricate some of those things, or you're doing lunges partway through, or you're like, okay, over the course of this amount of time, I'm going to randomly stop and I'm going to do 3 lunges on this leg, and then I'm going to walk a little bit further, and then I'm going to do 3 lunges on the other leg. If you're carrying a water bottle, or around your house you have water bottles, or you grab something out of the fridge, maybe you think about, okay, I'm going to do some bicep curls with a little bit of weight, or I'm going to do some extensions or lifts or something. But incorporating it into your everyday where it works, if that's what's most reasonable for you. For some of us, like me, that is only hit or miss. I do much better when I say, okay, here's the time I'm going to do it, and I'm going to go do it. Even if it was 30 minutes of lifting something, using bands, any sort of resistance, that's going to be helpful. But again, it's got to be something you enjoy so you'll stick to it, because you can't hate your body into the shape that you want it into. You have to love it.
My big issue right now is because we're like in such momentum. I'm like, I'm here for you. I got you anytime, day or night. So it's like I'll get on my bike, and then I'll get a call. Somebody wants to do a live or something. I'm like, okay, stop. And I go do it, and then I don't get back to it. So I'm thinking myself, as you're talking about this, I'm thinking, my God, I just want to get down on the ground right now and do a plank because I have the time. I mean,
right. Yeah.
Right now I have the time. In 30
Yep.
minutes, I may not. So it's hard for me right now, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing for me personally because we are in growth and we are in momentum. I do overextend myself because I just want to be there for everybody and I want to see everybody succeed. And it's like, I'm there. I got you. So for me personally, it's really hard to find that little 30-minute time frame right now. And then I go through the day and then I realize, God, I had a whole hour that I was waiting for something to happen and it didn't happen. And I could have been doing that stuff, but I didn't. So in those downtimes, I could be doing a wall sit, I could be doing a plank, or I could be getting on my bike.
Yep.
So I have that procrastination thing going on, and I can throw in every excuse. Oh, but I was supposed to have a call with Trudy. Oh, I was supposed to do a live with so-and-so. And, I can make excuses all day long. I really could be doing that stuff while I'm on my bike.
Yep.
So it's, I'm everything that you're saying right now, I'm just like, oh, guilty. I'm just going to stop and drop and do some planks right now.
Well, and that's where timers come in really handy, right? When you go, okay, so, my next thing isn't for 12 minutes, but I lose track of time. So I turn a timer on 3 minutes before and go, okay, that gives me 10 minutes to do whatever. And the timer will go off and go, hey, focus back on this next thing. But I use timers all the time because otherwise I do get caught up on something else and then lose track of time. Because, yeah, you could drop into a plank and then go, oh, while I'm here, I realized I need to vacuum this carpet or something else. So keep those timers running.
I was just getting ready to do a post about leadership and messiness, but showing up in this, and it just ties into this. It's just, I guess it is just who I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do it messy, but the thing is that I do it. It's
Yes.
not always when it's supposed to be, when it should be, and it's not always perfect, but I'm doing
Yep, you're showing up. You're doing it.
Sometimes, a lot of time, just not consistent at the same time.
Right?
Anyways, you'll see my post is coming. It's going to be a fun one.
Oh, I love it. Okay, myth number 2 is lifting makes women bulky. So let's talk about this for a minute because it doesn't. This myth, a lot of people think they shouldn't lift weights because I don't want to be bulky. Well, here's the thing. If you are biologically female, you do not have enough testosterone in your body to make you bulky. You can have nicely shaped muscles. You can build muscle, but I'm never going to have biceps like my husband does unless I supplement with testosterone, which I'm not willing to do.
Right.
But women don't bulk that way. We are biologically not created. We can lift and push and work out as hard as our male counterparts and still we only hit about 50 to 60% of the muscle growth that men do because we don't have the same amount of testosterone. So it makes it very, very challenging to gain large muscle mass, even for people like me who are trying to build muscle. So then when I slim down to be competitive on stage, I have more bulk. And some of us build lean muscle that's constantly thin. I don't build bulk. Even if I try, I just don't build bulk. I can tone up so my butt can be more perky, my shoulders can look more capped, but they don't actually, I don't bulk. So let's talk about what that means. So women should be lifting weights. Women of all ages should be lifting weights. It pushes nutrition back into your bones and gives you good, strong, solid bones. And you don't want to wait for that first test that says you're prone to osteoporosis to go, oh no, I need to strengthen my bones. So we really should be encouraging teenage girls to be lifting. Women through their 20s, through their 30s, all the way through should be lifting weights, should be doing restrictive and exercises that using bands or something that's helping to build that musculature. So strength training is going to help that. It's going to improve your metabolism because muscle burns stronger and faster and harder than fat does. Fat doesn't burn much, but note it, fat does create its own hormones. So the more fat you have on your body, the more hormonal shifts you're going to have. So I don't know if you know that we often talk about like storms or I just lost my train of thought. Never mind. Anyway, fat creates its own hormone storm for you.
There was
So
something I wanted to mention when you were talking about, I don't want to throw you off, but one of the best things I ever did and one of my proudest mommy moments, I might get emotional. Whoa. I bought my daughter a gym membership for her 16th birthday. Y'all, that changed the game. Like she
yes.
wasn't into that at all. and I was in a slump. I was like really struggling. I'm like, oh my God, what can I do? What, I don't have enough money at the moment to go out and get her an extravagant gift, but what can I do for her that's going to be meaningful, impactful? And
And it changed the trajectory of her life, didn't it?
it did. And she went to school and she's a personal trainer. She's a certified personal trainer, and it changed everything. Like everything. So that one thing, I'm so glad you're talking about this today, because I don't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, I mean, I focused on like meal planning and doing kind of healthy-ish things, but I was working out and I was in my own little journey, and I bought her is it that time of month? No. I bought her a gym membership, and she poured herself into that. She got into powerlifting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she is who she is today because that one little birthday gift I did when she was 16 years old, because I couldn't afford to go do anything special, but it was that one little thing. So you never know what kind of an impact just getting those kids moving, getting them tied into something like this can do for them in the future. It's just, I'm so amazed at the person she's become today, and it all is tied to health, fitness, and nutrition for her. She's just an amazing person. It's awesome.
Well, and the mental health benefits of working out, cardio, lifting weights, doesn't really matter for the mental health benefits, is so phenomenal because you, A, are prioritizing yourself, you're pushing yourself, and you get those endorphins and those hormones going that are phenomenal for helping improve your mental health. On top of then, you physically feel better as well because you also tend to eat better when you're working out because you're noticing your body, you're feeling your body, whether it's be that your muscles are sore or just that you're like, hey, I have a muscle that popped up. Look at this muscle that popped up.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I could do that. Those things all help boost that dopamine, that serotonin, that oxytocin that we need to help us feel better about who we are as human beings.
Can I say one other thing?
Yes.
One other thing that you need if you want to boost that serotonin and dopamine, you got to get a hold of our Mojo. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Mojo or Zest, right? So I love Mojo for a sit down, quiet time, like refocus center. But when I'm working out, I use Zest as my kind of pre-workout because same kind of thing. It's going to give me that mental boost. That's one of the things that kind of helps push me when I'm like, I don't feel like working out today because let's be real, we don't always feel like it. But that will help push and go, okay, I'm ready. I can do this. This is who I am. I do this for myself.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, and I love the Zest for that very thing. Yeah. So while we're talking about weights, though, we don't want to forget about cardio. So cardio is kind of getting a bad rap around the perimenopause, menopause. Like people are taking things, they're taking bits and pieces, what I feel out of context, and kind of catering to people who are like, well, I didn't like doing cardio anyway. Okay, don't forget about cardio. Cardio gives you cardiovascular health. So the amount of blood your heart can pump, the amount of oxygen your body has to use. So we don't want to not do any cardio, not do any hit, nothing that gets our heart rate up. That's a bad recipe for heart health long term. So yes, we want to lift weights. That's very, very important. It helps us so much. We also want to do that cardio. Now, does that mean you have to go and do 3 hours of cardio or run a marathon or a half marathon? No, but you still need to work out your lungs and your lung expansion, breathing deeply, and get your heart rate pumping, pushing that blood through your entire body so that you get good vascular perfusion all the way to the very tippy toes and the very tips of your fingers. So we don't want to do necessarily one without the other. We want both in conjunction. Now, I say that knowing that if you're working with a trainer who's got you on a very specific plan to build muscle, lose fat, you're doing them in conjunction. So those amounts may differ at different times over the journey of your health and wellness, but we still always want to be doing a little bit of both at least. So I think that right now we've kind of swung that pendulum to like, I don't do any cardio ever anymore. No. We still want your heart healthy, not just your muscles. So we do both. And then a really big one that I think people tend to forget is measure and monitor and track your improvements. So a lot of times clients will come to me and I'm like, I want you to take a picture. I want it in a bikini or a sports bra and underwear. I want front, back, and side. And they're like, I don't want to. I'm like, you don't have to look at it. But trust me when I say in a year after working with me, you are going to be so proud of how far you've come. You want that picture to remind you where you started. It's really important. So whether you're taking body measurements, you're doing an in-body scan, an eVolt, a DEXA scan, something that tells you kind of what those percentages, where your body starts, you want to track that along the way and show yourself you're making progress. That helps build confidence in what you're doing. And if you're working with a trainer or with a coach or something, it tells them where you need to tweak and how things are going. But it really is helpful, and it also boosts those hormones when you can see I'm doing something, I'm doing it for me, and it's working. Right? That's a really big deal.
One of the other problems that I have, this is my own personal thing now, I don't know about anybody else, is I hate to get sweaty. And I know that we need to sweat.
Yes.
It's like right now, I'm out here in my yard and I see all this grass and I'm like, oh my God, I got so much yard work to do. And it could be a real workout and I could really work up a sweat today. And then I put it off because I don't want to get sweaty and I don't want to get smelly and whatever. So like, okay, how many times do you shower a day when you're working out and you're getting, I mean, do you have to take multiple showers a day or?
Yeah, it depends on my day, but yes, I may shower multiple times a day, especially so I love to be able to work out first thing in the morning and then shower for my day and be good. But that's not always reasonable or realistic. So sometimes, like right now, my husband's traveling, and so I'm doing morning routine, so I'm not doing a workout first thing, or I did cardio, then I get my son up and going, and then I go do whatever. So I may have to shower after cardio and then I lift later and then I'm going to shower again. But sweating is so important for your body. You need that lymph release. That's a toxic release from your body. You need to sweat out of all of the pores of your body. It's so important.
So I get all paranoid because I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be stinky. I can't leave my house. Blah, blah, blah. And then I end up either A, not going anywhere for the entire day after I've sweated because I'm not done yet. I still got to get my workout in. So I'll wait till after I get my workout in. So it's this vicious circle that I personally have because
Yep.
I'm out in the morning because then I'm going to get sweaty and then I'm going to have to take a shower. Like I make up all of these things. And I know it's probably not just me. I'm an extreme case, but it's funny because a lot of times I find that holds me back from getting my workout in because I'm like, no, I don't want to get sweaty. I got to do this, and that, and I'm not going to have time to take a shower. And so sweating is good. I have to remind myself that sweating is good. You want to sweat. If you get smelly, it's okay. You're supposed to.
Yes. And the more you sweat, the less stinky you become.
I'm going to go.
Because now you're sweating out loud. And my husband, at one point I was like, so part of the thing that people don't want to like shower multiple times, they don't want to wash their hair, blow dry it, deal with all of that, right? Yep. You can blow dry your hair, blow dry the sweat out of your hair, and it really doesn't smell. At least it doesn't for me. My hair sweat does not smell like the rest of my body does. So you can blow dry it and good to go, or put dry shampoo in at night, not when your hair is wet because then it gets cakey gummy, but put dry shampoo in at night knowing that you're going to sweat the next day, and then when you blow dry that up, it comes back to life a lot easier and a lot better.
So I've got to get better at the sweat part because every time I start to break a sweat, I'm like, no, you're going to get icky, right?
On to sweat. Push that harder, push that faster. Embrace it. Oh, I sweat like a dude. Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
there is no not showering at all. And
started on the start. I'm going to send you a picture. It's going to be disgusting. You're going to be like, girl, go take a shower.
I soak through everything. My husband's like, go shower. Don't. My son is like, Mom, don't come near me unless you shower. And if I have a headband on, because I wear a headband so I don't get sweat in my eyes, it doesn't matter. He assumes I'm sweaty. Stay away.
I love it.
It's real. It just is. I do. I sweat a lot.
So I've got to learn to embrace the sweat because that's my problem that consistently holds me back.
Yeah. if you can get past that and just go, okay, it just is. We're gonna shower. We're gonna rinse off multiple times a day. We're gonna use, products that help moisturize our skin because we're rinsing off. Or even there's some really good wipes out there. Just grabbing a wet washcloth as well, and using them on
Question
target areas.
about cold plunging.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a fan, and when would you do that?
So I keep reading research, and it's inconclusive for women. I think that there's big benefits. One of the research things that I was reading was saying you don't need it as cold as men tend to get it. Just moderate is fine. I think a cold shower, like the last couple seconds of your shower, like
I'm good at
can work
that.
as well.
I'm good at
Um, I don't I don't know. There's so much research going both directions.
uh-huh.
I've done it. I don't know that I noticed any huge benefits or anything, but I don't. There's just there's still more coming. So I'm neither direction right now.
So
I'm not completely sold on it, but not against it either.
I'm asking because I have this, like, I bought this horse trough, like, tub.
Yes.
And so I'm like, if I just keep that filled with water, right? I can just, when I get sweaty, I just jump in that and it doesn't have to be a whole bath or
Yeah.
shower, right?
Yeah.
And I know that it will get me working out more. So it's the little things that you can do to
Yes.
inspire yourself to get it done, I guess.
I went to a Nordic spa last time I was in Alaska, and it's so you do the hot tubs, the cold plunge, and then the hot sauna.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. I mean, you do it multiple times. You're supposed to do it at least 3 times, the cycle. And I loved it and I felt great. So yeah, I
Well,
think that there's benefits to it. I just don't know.
that works great as a sauna.
Ooh.
Wait, but I'm not. Look, this shed right here is literally a sauna.
Yeah, just go in there and let all of that pour out,
I've
all those
got
toxins pour
all
out.
the tools. I just need to make the time.
And
So
remember, you excrete fat through moisture. So
I
sweat,
want to go
urine.
sweat like a pig.
Yes.
All right.
You want to sweat. That excretes those fats and those toxins. Get them out of there.
I am going to go sweat like a pig today, and I'm going to send
Yes.
you a picture of my sweaty mess, Meagan. Be prepared.
So that was going to be my myth number 3 that I'm going to touch on like in 3 minutes or less. So detoxing, and that you need all of these fancy things to detox. Your liver and your kidneys and all of that are going to detox your body for you. That's what they're designed to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to support them so they'll do it naturally. You don't need to necessarily support them with all of these fancy detox things. You need to drink a lot of water so that they can adequately do the natural detoxification process. You
Mm-hmm.
need to eat fiber-rich foods, so fruits and vegetables, whole grains, low processed whole grains, so that you can aid digestion and you can eliminate those toxins that way. And then limit your highly processed foods. So things that have been cooked and processed significantly. Anytime we pick a fruit or vegetable, it's processing it, right? We're moving it from one state to another. So I don't like the term processed foods. I like the term ultra processed foods better, that we've now moved them from their normal state to something new. We want to limit that and limit the sugar, alcohols, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
unless they're naturally occurring. But water, water, water. Again, flushing that out. And if you want to lose fat, you've got to be drinking water.
I drink a ton of, well, I'm not drinking just water. So this is my own personal thing. I'm like your guinea pig here, okay? So I had my protein shake this morning, my clear protein. So
Yep.
I'm drinking 20 to 32 ounces of water with that one scoop of 20 grams of protein.
Yep.
And then I have my Activate, which is another 20 to 32 ounces. And then I have, right now during my spring fever, because all this stuff equals pollen.
Yes.
Do you hear the bees buzzing? OMG, I'm about to die. So I'm thinking, do you think Enrich helps with that too?
Yes.
Side note. Okay. So I'm going to be making sure I take my Enrich, even if I haven't had a meal, I will just keep some of that in there. But Fortify also, I kind of feel like maybe.
And Optimize, because Optimize really focuses on gut health and healing your gut.
Okay. So I'm going to double up on my Optimize, because this is one thing I've noticed since taking these products. I used to get strep throat once or twice a year. every allergy season, it would just kill me, and I would end up sneezing and all of the things, and it would irritate my throat, and then it would turn into strep throat. Christmas time, I would cry profusely every time I went to take my daughter home, and I would just turn into a mess, and my sinuses would get so jacked up, and then the sore throat would come on, and it would turn into sore throat. The doctor says, no, that's not where strep throat comes from. Okay, but why do I get it at the same time every year, doing the same things every year? Since I started taking these products almost 4 years ago, I have not had one single bout of strep throat.
Awesome.
And I have been dealing with that. So the Christmas time strep throat has been since my daughter was 5 years old. She's 17 now.
Yep.
Every single year after I take her home, within a week, I have strep throat, and it's really from whatever my emotional crap I had going on, right?
Yeah, it does break down your immune system.
And then my the spring season, every time, every April, May, coming into it, I mean, it kills me. And no matter what I do, it's always turned into strep throat. So I have a hard time saying that it's not, that I have a hard time believing that it's not related because it's not without fail every time. And I'm like, hey, I need to come in and get some amoxicillin or whatever. I know it's coming. I feel it coming. And they were like, no, that doesn't cause it. And then a week later, we go do a strep test, there's strep. Yeah. So I don't know, man, but all I can tell you is since I have been taking these products consistently over the last 3.5 years, the only thing I've ever been sick with was COVID, and that was it.
Nice.
Sick in 3 years. Little common colds, and then I knock it, I start taking my Fortify and all my stuff, and it feels like it just knocks it out. I've never been like really sick in over 3.5 years. So
that's great.
Anyway,
that's awesome.
I looked at all this and I was like, oh no, it's coming. Let me ask
Here
her
it
about
comes. Yep. So here's the rule of thumb. If it doesn't contain caffeine, I would count it towards what we say water intake, right? Now, there is some science that says that like coffee and tea doesn't have enough caffeine to cause you to excrete enough liquid that it should be a concern. So you could argue either way, but I generally say if it doesn't contain caffeine, count it towards your water intake. So if you're going for 128 ounces for a gallon of water, and then your clear protein and all of that can count towards it.
Okay. So I probably drink 6 of these a day. That's 24 ounces.
Yep.
6 times 24 is
120, 140.
So that's enough water, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah. I'm gonna get that water intake, and I'm gonna go sweat like a pig. And
yes.
I'm gonna send you my picture, Megan. So
yes, you should.
You can hold me accountable.
I love it.
On it. I'll be a sweaty mess.
Good.
You'll be like, God, girl, go take
No, I know what I look like. I know what I look like. It's not a competition. Well, maybe it should be a competition. You should sweat more.
I don't like it, but I'm gonna learn to love it, Megan.
That's why you almost always see me in tank tops, because my armpits are always sweating, and so they need to air.
Nobody wants those rings in their shirts, right?
No. I may layer, but it's always a base tank top for sure.
I love it. So anyways, if anyone has any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And if you want to hear us talk about something specific in the following Mondays, go ahead and give us some suggestions, throw in some questions or whatever. If you want to hear us talk on a specific topic or whatnot, we're happy to go down those rabbit holes with you, if you will. I absolutely love and adore Megan, and I thank you, and I appreciate so much you spending these Mondays with us and sharing your time.
I love it.
All right. Have a good day, guys.